All right. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're feeling good today. Wanted to jump on live here and share some thoughts that I had from today. A lot of the topics that I have come from things that I read, interactions with other people, discussions I have with other people or groups, and also personal things that are going on in my life. And so, as you can tell from the title of this video, what to do when you feel like you can't catch a break, should tell you a little bit about kind of how my day's been going. And honestly, didn't quite feel like jumping on here, but I'm going to do it anyway because I feel like a lot of people could take some positive things from this and learn from it. And hopefully it could help you out like it helped me out throughout the day. So yeah, I want to chat a little bit about my day, what to do when you feel like you're having a rough day, things aren't going well, just kind of can't catch a break. So that's kind of how I felt today. I woke up feeling that way. Right off the bat, just some interactions last night kind of were stuck in my mind that weren't so great. And kind of first thing in the morning, I did something at work that I kind of screwed up kind of bad. So that kind of got the day started off on the wrong foot. And then had a couple of meetings and calls that I was really excited about canceled. And so that brought in more thoughts of, why are people canceling? What's going on? Do they not want to talk to me? Whatever. And so just kind of snowballed from there. And so all these things kept happening. And then I started to lose focus on different things I was doing throughout the day and continued to make like other little goofy mistakes and things like that. So the day kind of got more challenging as it went on. So that's kind of what I'm talking about when I feel like, when I say, hey, nothing's going right, or feel like you can't catch a break, hey, why does this keep happening to me? But I really found that the more I thought about these challenges, the less focus I had on what I wanted to do, what my mindset should have been as I was doing them, and the outcome that I was expecting or hoping to get. So a couple of tips for you. The first one is, don't focus on what's wrong. And that's what I was doing. I was so focused on these 2 or 3 things that weren't right, that were bothering me, that just, weren't how I wanted it to be. And it got my focus off track. And really, you can't focus on that too much and too long because it'll distract you. It'll take up too much of your headspace. It'll get you in a bad mood. I wasn't myself today, basically. And so what I started to do was I started to say, what are the things that are going right? What are the things that I can focus on that I am happy about, that are positive, that are going well, and try to leave some of those things behind me. So a couple of things were easy to kind of move on from. A couple of them weren't. And so I really had to put into perspective the couple of things that I couldn't let go of, and how I could work through that and get past it. And so on a couple of them, I just did what I needed to do to address that situation. And I said, that's it. I'm done with it. I'm not going to address it any further. I'm not going, to let that take up any more of my time and my energy, and reverted it back to doing things that were positive, doing things that were helpful and beneficial to what I'm working on and what my goals are and what my focus is right now. And so as soon as I made that shift, some of those things started to turn more positive and work out, in a more favorable fashion than what I was thinking of before. So first thing is, don't focus so much on what's wrong. Start to think about the things that are right and put your energy into those things. The second tip is much of this, whatever is bothering you right now, whatever these things are happening, much of it won't matter in a few years. In fact, much of it probably won't matter in a year or a few months or even a few days. If you're really, these things are going on and on for more than a few days, yes, they might be something important that you need to sort out, but the things that I was dealing with today, for me personally, are absolutely not going to matter for me a few years from now, let alone a few months from now. So, put things into perspective in terms of what what impact they will have on your life long term. And if you don't feel like that is going to be something that you're going to have to, work through or deal with long term, then I feel like it would be much easier to push it aside, maybe address it later. That's another thing I do, is that if it's not critical to me right now, even if it's something that's maybe bothering me a little bit, I'll just set it aside and say, you know what, I'll do this later on after I get the productivity, the positive things, the important things to me done. Then I'll come back to that later. The third tip is, the way I read this was be with great people, but be with them can be any sort of matter, right? You can physically go see someone, you can call them up on the phone. I actually texted a couple people, and one person sent me back an awesome message, and was just like, the fact that you're acknowledging this challenge and how you're feeling about it and where you want to go with it. He basically put it into perspective to me that I'm already, almost there in terms of getting through some of these challenges. So, if you reach out, ask for help, talk to somebody, you're going to get that positive reinforcement if it's that great person, a good person, somebody that's in your corner, somebody that you can rely on to give you some good advice and some good feedback and some positive reinforcement there. So that was a kind of a nice little boost for me, and it allowed me to kind of turn on a dime and then start to put that focus on the things that I wanted to. Number 4 is putting it into perspective in a different way, meaning what are the things in your life that you've worked through and overcome that were much more challenging than the situation that you're in right now. And so some of that has a bearing on me right now, because we're just a few days away from our firstborn daughter, Avery's, what would be her 6th birthday. And so for me, leading up to her birthday is much more challenging most years for us than her actual birthday. So for that, that's weighing on my mind, and something that I can't fully let go of, but it also doesn't have to creep into and impact other parts of my life. And so I realized that with the situation, like, overcoming the loss of our daughter, it's something that is, much greater than anything that I've dealt with today. And really understanding, like, is what's going on today a kind of intertwining and interaction of my feelings about that, or are these things really like big and important and going to be life altering things in the future? For me today, no, that wasn't the case. They weren't, they aren't, and they will not be part of what I feel is a challenge even tomorrow. So just kind of putting things into perspective that way and understanding kind of where you're at with some of those things. The last thing is, and this was one of the most challenging things for me today, was taking care of yourself. I think some just how I was feeling physically wasn't the greatest today, and just kind of that carried over into some of the things that were going on. And so I had to step away from my computer, from my desk, and take a break, go walk around, just clear my head a little bit. I wanted to actually lay down for a few minutes and just kind of sit in silence, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But just what are the things you can do that are going to allow you to reset and rebalance yourself? Just take care of yourself, make sure that you're doing things that are going to allow you to come back and feel better about what you're doing, what you're working on. Because it'll come through in whatever you're doing. And I could clearly see a difference today in what I was doing in when things were stuck in my mind and I wouldn't let them go, versus whenever I took some breaks, had some quick conversations with some people, got some positive reinforcement, and then was able to kind of refocus myself and get back to where I wanted to be. And so I think taking care of yourself, whether that's, you know, something that allows you to release a little bit of stress, you know, exercising or something like that, taking some quiet time to yourself. I actually listen to some music that is meant for mind relaxation and mind healing. And that was really helpful for me today to kind of get refocused on things. So those are my 5 tips. I hope that if you're having a challenging day, at least one of them can be something that could benefit you. I tried to incorporate, or I did incorporate most of these in my day today, and I could see where that kind of my tune shifted, and I was able to turn that into something a little bit more positive. So if you need some help, want some tips on how you can kind of do that self-care thing, like I said, that's one of the things I struggle a little bit with. However, there's a few things that I try to do every single time, and those actually help me. I feel like what is really important is to do them consistently. So if you want those couple of tips, would be happy to share them with you. Reach out, shoot me a message, make a comment below, and I would be happy to share those with you. So have a great night. Hopefully you're doing well. And even if you were having a rough day like me today, hopefully it's turned around, feeling good at the end of the day, so you can start off tomorrow on a positive note and do your best tomorrow. So have an awesome day. We'll talk soon.